last year he took over third for us.
How many rookies you got right now?
Six.
Good evening and welcome to Mercy Field at Lewis and Clark Park, Sioux City, Iowa. Nathan Moore back with you as the Kansas City T-Bones continue this 11-game road trip. And let's first talk about your starting lineups first for Kansas City at 7-8. Leading off is the right fielder, Starlin Rodriguez. Batting second, the shortstop is Vladimir Frias. Batting third, the center fielder Tyler Massey as Gallus returns the cleanup spot as the designated hitter. Batting fifth, the first baseman's Jake Blackwood. Steve Swingle with his fifth consecutive start behind the plate. He'll bat sixth. Batting seventh, second baseman Brandon Tierney. Robbie Kuzdal in left field will bat eighth. And batting ninth is the rookie third baseman Sergio Leon. Rodriguez, Frias, Massey, Gallus, Blackwood, Swingle. Tierney, Kuzdal, Leon for Kansas City as Casey Barnes makes his second road start for Kansas City. Now for the Sioux City Explorers, 6-8. Leading off is the left fielder Derek Robinson. Batting second, the right fielder is Michael Lang. Batting third, the first baseman is Noah Perio Jr. Nate Sampson, the shortstop's in the cleanup spot, as Tommy Mendonça, the third baseman, bats fifth. Batting sixth, the second baseman is Jarek Cunningham. Matty Johnson, the speedy center fielder, will bat seventh, as Tim Caldwell, the DH, will bat eighth. And rounding out the lineup is the catcher, Ralph Henriquez. Robinson, Lang, Perio, Sampson, Mendonça, Cunningham, Johnson, Colwell, Henriquez. And on the mound for Sioux City is Graham Johnson. Johnson, 1-0 record, 2.53 earned run average, making his third start of the year. 10 2/3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He's walked 5, struck out 6. Batters just batting 179 against Grams. We'll see how Kansas City responds after being no hit last night and the first time in franchise history. So Kansas City coming off of a no-hitter. And Sioux City coming into tonight right off of a one-hitter, losing against Fargo Moorhead just a couple of nights ago in Fargo. So both these teams offensively in particular trying to get off to a good start in this series. Kansas City in their road gray tops, gray pants. Explorers red tops, white pants. And the first pitch from Graham Johnson is a little bit low. 7:06 first pitch, 75 degrees. Gorgeous night here on a Friday night. A lot of rain earlier, but it has not rained since about 4:30 or so. 1-0 pitch is a strike, and the count is even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Just 1 hit so far for Rodriguez since being activated off the disabled list. 1 for 15 to start the campaign. Big curveball for a strike, and the count's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Home plate umpire Nick McFarland. Marty Bauer is at first, and the third base umpire is Paul Fellows. Same crew that Kansas City had in Gary. This pitch foul to the left side, well out of play. Way in front of it was Rodriguez, and the count stays 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sioux City coming into the series with a 5.95 team earned run average. So they have struggled pitching. That was not the case for them last year. 1-2 pitch, ground ball past third. It's heading toward the line. So all the way to second base. Rodriguez a big wide turn. Left fielder Robinson's throw will be cut off, and Kansas City has a leadoff double. So Rodriguez, just his second hit of the season, gets a leadoff double to lead off the game. So Kansas City's no-hit bid ends abruptly here the first batter of the first inning. So Kansas City a runner in scoring position for the shortstop Vladimir Frias. Defensively for Sioux City, Henriquez behind the plate, Mendonça at third, Sampson at short, Cunningham at second, Perio is at first in the outfield left to right, Robinson, Johnson, Lang. A lot of speed in the outfield for Sioux City. Switch hitting shortstop, batting left-handed for Kansas City. Showing a bunt, and it's a bunt right back to the mound. Johnson's only play is to first. It's a sacrifice bunt, and Kansas City has a runner at third base and 1 out in the opening frame. So a little bit of small ball for Kansas City, and that'll bring up Tyler Massey. Kansas City's center fielder has had a pretty good road trip, a couple of home runs in the first 8 games of the road trip. Batting average up to 196. Came left-handed hitter versus the right-handed starter. Way inside, and Massey hit by the pitch. No call by the home plate umpire McFarland, but Massey definitely hit by a pitch. Kansas City runners on the corners. and just one out for Gallus. So good RBI situation already for the Kansas City designated hitter. Gallus, the same success on the road trip. 3 home runs on the road trip, leads the team with 5. He also hit 1 in Gary, hit 2 in St. Paul. And Kansas City's power hitter, Anthony Gallus, on the corners and 1 out. Leadoff double Rodriguez. Frias moved Rodriguez to third with a bunt. Now Massey hit by a pitch. Massey, pretty good base runner, not going, and this pitch is a called strike. Gallus batting just .245. 12 hits, 5 home runs, 10 RBIs. Blackwood would follow. Kansas City trying to take the first lead in the first game of 3 on this road trip, or this little series against Sioux City. There's a strike on the outside corner, and Gallus very quickly behind 0-2. Rodriguez at third, Massey at first. Good base runners for Kansas City. 2-strike pitch is just outside. And the count is 8 or 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wind just barely blowing in from center field. Johnson trying to pitch out of a little bit of trouble in the opening inning. Give Barnes a little bit of run support. Ground ball to the left side. Through the hole into left field. Mendoza was trying to go for it, as was Sampson. Kansas City is going to get a run, and Kansas City has a 1-0 lead. So an infield single for Anthony Gallus. RBI number 11. So the leadoff double turns into a run. Massey goes first to third. Same situation now for Blackwood, with Kansas City leading 1-0. Jake Blackwood, just a few years ago, removed from the league's most valuable player when he was with Kansas City. A couple seasons in Winnipeg, back for his second stint in his second season with Kansas City. First pitch on the way is a bit outside. Blackwood for Kansas City, batting .230, just 1 home run, 8 RBIs, 14 hits. He has scored 5 times. Kansas City right here just trying to put the ball in play, avoid a double play, take an early 2-0 lead. This pitch way outside, 2-0. Johnson coming into tonight just allowed 7 hits in his first 10 2/3 innings. 5 walks, opponent batting average just at 179, so pretty effective for the right-hander. Blackwood sends a line drive into center. Johnson makes the catch. Massey will score. It's a sacrifice fly. 9th RBI of the year for Blackwood, and Kansas City has a 2-0 lead. So the good base running by Massey gives Blackwood an RBI chance. Blackwood comes through with the RBI, and now the 6th batter in the inning to come to the plate, catcher Steve Swingle. Swingle, Kansas City hit his first professional home run in St. Paul. Runner at first, Gallus, not really a threat to steal in this inning. This pitch in the dirt, and the count's 1-0. Runner at first, Gallus, 2 outs, 2 runs in for Swingle. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and a check swing foul ball to the left side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sioux City, a lot of records for them personally last year in wins, stolen bases, earned run average. Really a very impressive season for Montgomery and the coaching staff in Sioux City last year. Definitely the storyline of 2015. Sioux City, one of the most feared teams from a year ago. Lost a lot of pitching in the offseason, but here's the 2-1 pitch, and it's outside ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. So Graham Johnson really having to throw quite a few pitches in this opening inning. All started with a leadoff double, just the 2nd hit of the year for Starlin. Now the 3-1 pitch is a called strike. Full count, 3-2. Now Gallus will be running on the pitch. Third base coach Dave Schaub. First base coach is John West. The next pitch will be the 20th of the inning for Graham Johnson. If the inning continues, Brandon Tierney will follow. There goes Gallus, 3-2 pitch, and a high pop-up in foul territory that'll get out of play. Count remains full, 3 balls, 2 strikes. I'll get you a look around the American Association scoreboard update in just a little while. A couple innings down the road. Every team in action tonight, of course, on a Friday night. Gorgeous here in Sioux City. Couldn't ask for a better day. 75 degrees, not a lot of wind. Another 3-2 pitch, ball 4. And Swingle, kind of expecting it to be a strike, kind of stood there, and home plate umpire Nick McFarland says ball 4. That's the first walk of the inning. Second free base runner allowed in this opening inning by Johnson. So Gallus to second, Swingle to first, and the 7th batter to come to the inning for Kansas City is Brandon Tierney. So after really struggling at the plate last night, Kansas City now sent 7 hitters to the plate here in the first inning tonight. First pitch to Johnson is way outside. Ball 1 to Tierney. Tierney for Kansas City batting .283. 16th start. He started every game for Kansas City. His second start tonight at second base. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and that's in the dirt. So Johnson really having to work in this opening frame. Tierney just 2 extra base hits, both doubles, 4 RBIs. Base hit here, Kansas City could extend the lead. The 2-0 pitch is right down the middle. Called strike, and the count's 2 balls and 1 strike. Sioux City fresh off of a road trip, an off day yesterday. Kansas City still in this season-long 11-game road trip right out of the gate. Here's the 2-1 pitch and a ground ball heading up the middle. Sampson ranges out, and a fantastic play by Sampson behind the bag to second, and Cunningham covers the bag to end the inning. Kansas City sends 7 to the plate, leaves 2 stranded, but do score 2 in the first inning. After half of an inning, Kansas City 2. Explorers coming up when we come back on the Kansas City T-Bones Broadcasting Network. Bottom of the first inning, back at Mercy Field at Lewis and Clark Park. Nathan Moore back with you. 2-0 Kansas City as we head to the bottom of the first. Left fielder Derek Robinson, Michael Lang, and Noah Perio, the scheduled 3 hitters to face off against Casey Barnes. Barnes, fourth start of the year, 1-1 record, 4.82 or 4.42 rather, earned run average for Kansas City starter, and the first pitch of the first inning to Robinson is a called strike. Derek Robinson batting .278, 15 runs scored already, and the next pitch is a bit outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. For Sioux City, a team batting .265 in the American Association. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and Barnes missing the inside part of the plate. 2 balls and a strike. Casey, more of a 3-pitch pitcher, and definitely uses a lot of the zone, pitches to contact, not really the strikeout type of a guy, and this one's too low itself. 3 balls and a strike. Kansas City really struggled in the strike zone against the Railcats. A lot of free passes in Gary, hoping that doesn't carry over into this series. And this pitch is hit high into the air. Center field, Massey covers a lot of ground. It's a routine play for him. And 1 up, 1 down to start the bottom of the first inning. Defensively for Kansas City, Swingle behind the plate. Leon at third, Frias at short. Tierney at second, Blackwood at first. Outfield left to right, Cousdale, Massey, Rodriguez. And this is just one of a couple of times we have seen this 3 outfield combination for Kansas City. We've talked about how much range these 3 in particular have in the outfield. Called strike to Michael Lang. All 3 of these defenders in the outfield for the T-Bones all have played center field in the past and really has a lot of range. Here's a high pop-up. Second baseman Tierney calling for it, and he'll go about 15 feet into right field to make the catch. So quickly, after falling behind 3-1 to Robinson, Barnes comes back and has a couple of quick outs. So 2 up, 2 down. That'll bring up the first baseman, Noah Perio. Perio Jr. batting .304, third best hitter on this squad. 17 hits, 56 at-bats. Leads the team with 3 home runs. He does have 17 RBIs by far and away, team leader. Left-handed hitter against the right-handed starter. And the first pitch here by Casey a little bit low. Third baseman Leon way off the line at third, almost even with the bag at third. And this pitch in too tight, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes by Perio. Barnes comes set in the pitch. Is a pop foul to play to the left side. 2 balls and a strike. Kansas City, 3 here in Sioux City before the team comes back to Kansas City. Nice long homestand that the T-Bones will enjoy. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, off day Thursday, then a 4-game series leaking into Monday. 2-1 pitch, ground ball. Blackwood has it at first, takes it himself in a 1-2-3 inning for Barnes in the first. We head to the second. 2-0 Kansas City on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network. Top of the second, 2-0 Kansas City. Nathan Moore back with you, live at Mercy Field at Lewis and Clark Park. The Explorers doing a lot of cool things with the ballpark. They've really added a gorgeous scoreboard in left center field. It is a state-of-the-art scoreboard. Much, much better improvement. This pitch is a called strike to Robbie Coosdale. Updating the stadium in many different areas, including the press box, and we'll be working on the suite section as well. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and Coosdale takes a strike. Robbie batting in the 8th spot for Kansas City, batting .244. A couple of home runs, 4 RBIs. He has scored 7 times. Most of those runs out of the leadoff spot. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and way outside. One hop the catcher, Henriquez, and the count's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Graham Johnson faced 7 hitters in the first inning. Took a great defensive play by the shortstop Sampson to keep the damage just to a couple of runs. Kansas City left a couple of runners aboard. 1-2 pitch, not even close. Way outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So Johnson, when he's missing outside of the zone, he is missing badly. So pitches that's really not even thinkable of swinging at. See if Kansas City can get Coosdale aboard. Maybe more small ball at the bottom of the order. Following, 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. First strikeout of the game for Graham Johnson, and the first out recorded here in the second. So 1 up, 1 down for Sergio Leon. Leon, his 3rd start of the road trip. He kind of gets the start the first game of the series. So today, Wiley getting the night off. Just the 2nd time this year that Wiley has got the night off. So Sergio Leon will get the start, and the first pitch to the young 3rd baseman is a bit outside. Sergio batting .143, 2 hits, 14 at-bats, his 5th start. Good middle infielder today at 3rd. This one hops in front of the plate, 2-0. Sergio in his 2nd season with Kansas City, on-base percentage .143. He has not walked this year, so obviously what Kansas City would like to see more from the bottom 3rd of the order. Just more on-base percentage points that get up higher to help the top of the order drive runners in. Top of the order, Rodriguez would follow. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and way outside again, 3-0. The good news for Sioux City, the off day yesterday, the bullpen should be pretty much at 100%. The bad news for Sioux City, they've got quite a few days before the next off day. Here's the 3-0 pitch. And right down the middle, 3 balls and a strike. Graham Johnson, the best starting pitcher thus far for Sioux City in regards to almost every single statistic. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Inside, ball 4. So Sergio Leon with his first walk of the year. And Kansas City has a runner at first and 1 out for Starlin Rodriguez. Rodriguez opened the game off with a double down the left field line. Came around to score on the RBI single by Gallus. Maybe that hit will get Starlin off and rolling. Just his 2nd hit of the season. Both hits have come on the road trip. Another pitch not close, outside for ball 1. That pitch is 75 miles an hour on the breaking ball. See if Kansas City might put something on with some speed. This one in the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. Kansas City, 14 stolen bases on the year, caught 6 times, including 4 times in the Gary series. Gonzalez was just picking guys off left and right in Gary, Indiana. 2-0 pitch, and that's in the dirt, 3-0. So Graham Johnson really fighting his control here in the first 2 innings. A lot of pitches, pretty much just underway. 2-0 Kansas City. We're in the second. The 3-0 pitch, right down the heart of the plate. Rodriguez walking toward first, but from here it definitely caught a lot of the plate. 3-1. Righty versus righty. That was Starlin's first extra base hit of the season. 3-1 pitch and a called strike outside corner. Full count, 3-2. Starlin, 4 strikeouts and 16 at bats, so probably going to see Sergio running here. He is running. 3-2 pitches fouled out of play. So Sergio often running on the 3-2 count. Frias would follow, pending a double play. Kansas City coming in, 1 game below 500. Kind of been an up and down battle this entire road trip. Win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. The entire 8 games, off and on. Kansas City hoping to get that first official series win here in Sioux City. It will not be an easy task. Sioux City has had their ups and downs. Started the season 0-6, then won 6 straight, and now on a mini 2-game losing streak. Sergio running again. 3-2 pitch is fouled out of play. Three balls, 2 strikes, and the at-bat continues for Starlin Rodriguez. Frias would follow.
Shane Tritzes or does the same guy just keep coming out of that one?
Sergio, a pretty good-sized lead from first again. Not running. Line drive, base hit, left center field. Sergio will go first to third, and Starlin Rodriguez has his second hit of the game.
1 for 15. I knew he'd go off against us.
So Starlin Rodriguez already 2 for 2. Third hit of the road trip. Once again, maybe trying to get him rolling offensively. He has really scuffled so far this season. And that'll bring up Vladimir Frias. Vladdy out on a sacrifice bunt in the first inning. He advanced Rodriguez from second to third. Sioux City in need of a ground ball, a chance to get out of it with a double play. Kansas City trying to add their 3rd run in the first 2 innings. Right now, Johnson not helping himself by falling behind a lot of hitters. Not this time, though. First pitch, it is a called strike. Frias batting .218 coming into today. 12 hits, just 1 home run. Throw over to first. Not a big lead at all for Rodriguez. He's back over there easily, and there's already some action in the bullpen for Sioux City. That's not what you want to see if you are only in the 2nd inning. Starlin a pretty bigger lead now. Pitch is a called strike outside corner, and Frias not liking that one. Home plate umpire Nick McFarland working another series behind the plate. Kansas City. Same umpiring crew in Gary. Breaking ball is popped foul to play. And the count stays 0-2. Runner at third, Sergio Leon. He walked with 1 out of the inning. Over at first is Rodriguez. 2 for 2 to start the game. Graham Johnson trying to get Frias out for the 2nd time. And the 0-2 pitch is a chopper right to the shortstop. Sampson to second, out there, back to first, is in time. And Frias out on a double play. So Kansas City squandering a great opportunity to add to their lead in the 2nd. And it ends with a 6-4-3 double play. We head to the bottom of the 2nd. 2-0 Kansas City on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network. Nathan Moore back with you, live from Sioux City, Iowa. Bottom of the second inning, Kansas City with a 2-0 lead. Nate Sampson, Tommy Mendonça, and Jarek Cunningham, 4, 5, 6 hitters coming up for Sioux City. Barnes the 1-2-3, bottom of the first, still holding on to that 2-run lead. And the first pitch to Sampson is a high pop-up, out of play to the right side, 0-1. Sampson off to a pretty good start, batting .327, 17 hits, 52 at-bats. 1 home run, just 6 RBIs, though, out of the cleanup spot. Here's the 0-1 pitch, and in too tight, but he did go around on the appeal to the first base umpire, Marty Bauer. 0-2 on Nate Sampson. Straight up in the outfield for Kansas City. Massey and center not playing very deep, neither Rodriguez and Wright. That pitch way in on the hands again. Sampson fouls it off. Third baseman, Sergio Leon, way off the bag at third, very deep behind the bag at third. All the infielders playing particularly deep. 0-2 pitch, called third strike. Casey Barnes picks up his first strikeout of the night. And 1 up, 1 down for the third baseman, Tommy Mendonça. Coming into tonight, Kansas City's pitching staff, a 3.21 earned run average. A very, very good, respectable number. The bullpen has really chipped in nice for Kansas City. They like to see Barnes have some length out of the rotation. This first pitch sailed high, and the count's 1-0. Mendonça batting .314, couple of home runs, 5 RBIs. Left-handed hitter against the right-handed starter. The 1-0 pitch is a ground ball into right center field for a hit. So Sioux City has their first hit of the series and their first hit of the game, and up comes the second baseman, Cunningham. One of a seeing-eye single right to the right of Tierney. Just the second start this year that we've seen Tierney at second base.
The good news is they're not going to, the next 24 guys aren't going to be out because there's only 23 more outs.
Kansas City looking for a double play, just what Sioux City did against Kansas City in the top half of this second. Kansas City with first and third, just 1 out. Frias grounded into a double play. First pitch fouled straight back. Cunningham behind 0-1. Cunningham, 6 foot, 195 pounds. He's a veteran from Arizona. Batting .259. Pickoff attempt over to first. More of a show move than anything. Mendonça easily back. Mendonça, a little bit larger lead at first. This is a team that really likes to run. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Good changeup, and the count's 0-2. Center fielder Matty Johnson would follow. Barnes way ahead, trying to get the second out of the inning. Kansas City 2 in the first, scoreless in the second. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Line drive, right center field. Same spot, back-to-back hits in right center field. Mendonça, maybe a little bit more aggressively, could have gone first to third, but kind of held up very quickly at second base. That'll bring up the center fielder, Matty Johnson. So Matty Johnson will come up. Matty Johnson, another speed guy, batting .269. 14 hits, 52 at-bats, not known for much power, but very quick on the bases. Kansas City trying to get out of a little bit of a mini jam here. Barnes fires one high, ball 1. Runner at second, Mendonça. Cunningham at first, back-to-back 1-out singles. Kansas City 2 runs on 3 hits. Sioux City looking for their first run. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And a little broken bat flare into shallow right field. Tierney going out. and the second baseman makes the catch. 2 outs here in the second. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Tim Colwell. Colwell batting just .225. Couple of doubles, 5 RBIs. Does not have a home run this year. Another left-handed hitter against the right-handed starting pitcher. Barnes trying to work around back-to-back one-out singles, trying to move this game into the third. Leon even with the bag at third, now kind of creeping in a little bit. First pitch is a little bit high, 1-0. Catcher Ralph Henriquez would follow if the inning continues. Barnes hoping, and Henriquez leads off the third. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It'll have to wait. Barnes a bluff look over at second. No throw. No wind at all here. 75 degrees. Gorgeous night in Sioux City. Game 1 of 3. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Ground ball. Base hit left field. Cousdel's got a pretty good arm, and they're not going to test it. Bases are loaded, so 3 singles here in the second inning. Mendoza, a 1-out single. Cunningham, a 1-out single. Now a 2-out single for Tim Colwell. So 3 hits in the inning. And that'll bring up Ralph Henriquez, who is 7 for 44. Batting .159. Kansas City really needing to get out of this inning. Barnes could consider himself mighty lucky if he could get out of the inning, despite giving up 3 hits here in the second. Another left-handed approach against a right-handed starter. Barnes set, pitch on the way, and the first pitch fastball is inside and high, 1-0. Barnes coming into tonight had allowed 18 hits over 18 innings, right at 1 hit per inning. Barnes trying not to allow his 4th hit in the inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And there's a called strike on the outside corner. And the count is even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at third, Mendoza. Cunningham at second. Colwell at first. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Bottom of the second, Kansas City with a 2-0 lead. Barnes is set, the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. That was not a strike. Above the hands. And the count's now 1 ball, 2 strikes. So Henriquez helping Kansas City a little bit. Some jinxing going on up here on press row. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Barnes trying to get the final out of the second. Get his offense back up there in the third. Barnes set, the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball, kind of mixed up swingle, and the ball kind of floats down the first base line about 10 feet. No advancement. The count's 2-2. Swingle and Barnes not on the same page. Now the count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A perfect 1-2-3 bottom of the first. Well, this inning led off with a strikeout and 3 hits over the next 4 hitters. Catcher from Florida, and Ralph Henriquez looking for his 8th hit of the year. Kansas City trying to move to the third. 2-2 pitch. Is a wild pitch all the way to the backstop. There's no play anywhere. In fact, the catcher Swingle overthrows Barnes, and then a throw is high. And Kansas City is going to give up 2 runs on a wild pitch and an E2. Holy cow. So Mendoza scores. Cunningham scores from second. Colwell goes first to third on a wild pitch E2. Kansas City giving away runs here in the second inning. You can concede 1 on the wild pitch, but definitely not 2. Swingle just made an attempt of no play at all, and Kansas City just giving away a run. Now the 3-2 pitch is outside ball 4, so this inning has really unraveling quickly for Barnes in Kansas City. 3 hits, an error, and now a walk. All the damage pretty much with 2 outs. And Henriquez, who has really struggled to a 159 hitter, is walked to continue the inning. Now the top of the order with Robinson, who is 0 for 1 of the game, batting .273. Now tied at 2 in the bottom of the second. I don't remember if I've ever seen 2-run score on a single wild pitch. A little bit of assist there from the E2 from Swingle. Now one fouled straight back. 0-1 on Derek Robinson. So a very, very sloppy second inning for Kansas City. Barnes still looking for that final out here in the second. Here's the 0-1 pitch, showing a bunt right back to Barnes. And the throw to first and the inning is over, but not before Kansas City allows 3 hits, a walk, and 2 runs comes in to score. One of those runs will be unearned, but nonetheless, the game is tied at 2 as we head to the third on the Kansas City T-Bones Broadcasting Network. Top of the third, 2-2 tie, live at Mercy Field, Lewis and Clark Park. Nathan Moore back with you as the T-Bones look to regain another lead here in the third inning. First pitch to Massey is a bit low, and the count's 1-0. 3, 4, 5 hitters, Massey, Gallus, Blackwood for Kansas City. Massey hit by a pitch in the first inning, came around to score on a sacrifice fly from Jake Blackwood. 2 in the first for Kansas City, 2 in the second by Sioux City as this pitch is also low, 2-0. Graham Johnson really has struggled with control in the first 2 innings. Kansas City needs to make sure of themselves they don't try to help assist him with his lack of control, way outside 3-0. And because Sioux City came back and scored 2 runs, pretty much gift runs in the second, Montgomery feeling a little bit easier in the regards of a possibility of bringing a bullpen in sooner. 3 balls, 1 strike. The pitch to Massey on the way. In on the hands, ground ball to first. Perio there. Massey staying at the plate. As to say that ball was a foul ball or a dead ball. He's saying that it hit him in his foot. And now John Massarelli is going to come out and argue on his behalf. We saw this twice in Gary with Nick McFarland behind the plate. And there's a reason why you've got field umpires if you don't see everything clearly, but Nick McFarland is not even going to ask for assistance, so it's going to be a 3 unassisted put out by Perio at first base and the first out here in the third inning. That'll bring up Gallus, RBI single in the first. Base is empty, 1 out. First pitch to the designated hitter on the way, and it's outside. Or outside corner called a strike. Boy, Nick McFarland calling a strike about 3 seconds after it hit the mitt. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Gallus, not waiting for another one to be called a strike, pops it foul out of play, and the count's 0-2. So a very tight zone in the first inning, now more of the elaborate zone from the second inning on. By the 8th inning, everything might be a strike. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It's in the dirt, and it counts 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gallus leads the team in RBIs with 11 now, leads the team with 5 home runs in his first year in Kansas City. Blackwood would follow. Kansas City looking for their 4th hit of the game. Next pitch is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Graham Johnson with the signal, and from the windup delivers the 2-2 pitch and another foul ball straight back. So even when Johnson is finding the zone, he's not getting quick outs. Kansas City hitters forcing him to continue to throw a lot of pitches in the early going. Quicker Kansas City could get into the bullpen, the more it might help them later on in the series. 2-2 pitch is another foul ball well out of play. Now Johnson back from the windup. Here's another 2-2 pitch. And outside, ball 3. Full count 3-2. That was the same pitch that was called a strike to begin the at-bat. Scores around the league. Wichita leading Gary in the 7th inning, 4-1. That game is in Wichita. 3-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball popped up on the infield. Perio in foul territory on the warning track makes the catch. And 2 up, 2 down. So that'll bring up Jake Blackwood. RBI sac fly in the first inning. Other scorers in the league. Joplin with a 4-0 lead over Texas. It's in Joplin 4th inning. No score in Winnipeg between Lincoln and the Gold Eyes. That's in the 4th. Laredo has a 2-0 early lead against St. Paul. That's in the 3rd inning. Here's the pitch to Blackwood, and that's outside, ball 1. No action in the bullpen, Kansas City. No action in the bullpen now for Sioux City after the game is tied at 2 as we hit in the 3rd inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's in the dirt, 2-0. With all the lack of control, Kansas City only with the 2 runs. They have 3 hits and a couple of walks in the game. Here's a little pop-up into shallow right field, and Perio's going to do the entire inning himself. A ground out, put out, and then 2 pop-ups. And Kansas City down for the first time, 1-2-3 here in the 3rd inning. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Tied at 2 on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network. Bottom of the third inning, Nathan Moore back with you at Mercy Field, Lewis and Clark Park, Sioux City, Iowa. Game is tied at 2, each team with 3 hits. Kansas City has committed the only error in the game. Casey Barnes back to work, and the first pitch to Lang is hit a mile into the air. It's going to push Coosdale near the warning track. He looks up and makes the catch. 1 pitch out to begin the third inning. And that'll bring up the first baseman, Noah Perio. Perio, 0 for 1, grounded out to Blackwood to end the first inning. Barnes really needing to get right back into the groove of things. Gave up a couple of runs in the second. One of those runs is unearned. Catcher error by Swingle that allowed the second run on the same wild pitch to allow another run to score. First pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 on Noah Perio. Noah Perio batting left-handed. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And a fastball in on the hands. Got him to foul off. 0-2. A little bit of a shift in center field. Massey a little bit shaded toward right. Not a lot. There is a lot of room in left center. Coosdale more toward the line. So there's more room in left center. Rodriguez pretty much straight up in right field. Barnes from the windup. The 0-2 pitch is a big curveball that sails outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Perio, 17 RBIs. He has been a machine for Sioux City again here early on. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. Down he goes. Barnes with his second strikeout of the game. Perio 0 for 2. And that'll bring up the shortstop Nate Sampson, who struck out to lead off the second inning before Sioux City ripped off 3 hits. Sampson from Ocala, Florida, struck out looking once again in the second. Off to a good start, batting .321. Pitch on the way, in on the hands, and he pulls it foul out of play. 0-1. Kansas City coming into this series tied for second place in the Central Division, only a little bit behind Lincoln. Still no score as Lincoln battling with the Gold Eyes in Winnipeg. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And Sampson takes a breaking ball for a called strike. So Barnes way ahead, trying to come back and face just the minimum in the third. Faced 7 batters in the second after a very quick 1-2-3 first. 0-2 pitch is in the dirt, and the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kansas City will have Holman on the mound tomorrow night. Then Shuttlesworth will make his 3rd start of the road trip on Sunday afternoon. Don't forget, Sunday is a 2 p.m. start. 1-2 pitch, just foul past third, and the count will remain 1-2. Good thing. Sergio one-hop Blackwood, who was unable to field it. So just another pitch, and the count is still in Casey's favor. 1 ball, 2 strikes. T-Bones leaving Gary last night right about 10:15, getting into Sioux City a little after 6:30 this morning. Got in a lot earlier than what everybody had expected. 1-2 pitch. Routine play for Vladimir Frias. Throws on the run. He throws it in the dirt, and Blackwood able to save Vladdy of an error. So the inning is over. A very quick 1-2-3, bottom of the third. We head to the fourth. Still tied at 2 on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network. We head to the fourth inning. Nathan Moore back with you live at Mercy Field, Lewis and Clark Park, Sioux City, Iowa. We are tied at 2 as Steve Swingle fouls this one off of his foot, and the count's 0-1. Steve Swingle, Brandon Tierney, Robbie Cousdell scheduled 3 hitters in the inning for Kansas City. Here's the 0-1 pitch. In on the hands, and Swingle pops it a mile high into the air. Perio near the fence will run out of room, and the count's 0-2. So Graham Johnson continues to battle here tonight. Not been the most efficient night for Johnson on the mound. He was over 50 pitches through 2 innings, and now as we head into the fifth, or into the fourth inning, over 60 pitches. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and a called third strike outside corner. Swingle didn't think so, but it looked like it might have just caught the outside corner. Great pitch by Johnson. Second strikeout of the game for Johnson in the first out of the fourth inning. And that'll bring up the second baseman, Brandon Tierney, who is 0 for 1. Tierney 0 for 1, grounded out to the shortstop to end the first inning. And the first pitch on the way. Good breaking ball for a strike. And the count's 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch to Tierney. And a bit outside. And the count is even. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Coming here.
So 1 ball, 1 strike on Brandon Tierney. Robbie Cousdell to follow.
That'll go around, I think.
Here's the pitch. And Tierney a little bit low. 2 balls, 1 strike on Kansas City's second baseman. He's been the normal starting third baseman for Kansas City. Wiley getting the day off. Now the 2-1 pitch. Line drive right to the shortstop. 1 hopper for Sampson. Over to first, easy play. And Kansas City, after getting a 1-out single in the second inning from Rodriguez, has not had a base runner since. So Graham Johnson, who was really erratic in the strike zone, starting to find it here as this game moves into the third. Past the third into the fourth inning. See if Robbie Cousdell can get on base for the first time. Here's the pitch. And a good breaking ball is a called strike. Cousdell struck out to lead off the second inning. He is 0 for 1. Now Johnson's 0-1 pitch. Bounces in front of the plate off the glove of Henriquez, and the count's 1 ball, 1 strike. Cousdell's kind of rotated between the number 1 spot, leadoff spot, and the 8th spot for Kansas City, up and down the order. Had 4 walks a couple of nights ago in the leadoff spot, and now he's back down to the 8th spot. 1-1 pitch, foul ball straight back into the seats. And the count is now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Robbie Cousdell. Left fielder tonight. Massey is back in center. Rodriguez is in right field. You talk about a great defensive outfield for Kansas City in this game, in particular to the amount of ground they cover. Johnson's 1-2 pitch, and it's a little bit low. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A lot of rain in the area earlier, and the grounds crew did a fantastic job getting this game on time tonight. Just a couple of minutes off the scheduled start. They did a really good job working on the warning track areas. A big swing and a miss on a high fastball. Cousdell struck out for the second time. Third strikeout of the game for Johnson. Back-to-back perfect innings after a couple of really, really sketchy innings for Graham Johnson. We head to the bottom of the fourth inning. Tied at 2 on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network. Bottom of the fourth inning, 2-2 tie between Kansas City and Sioux City, as Casey Barnes throws the first pitch strike on the third baseman, Tommy Mendonça. Mendonça singled and scored in the second inning. He started that 2-run second. Barnes a couple of strikeouts in the game. 0-1 pitch is just off the inside corner, and the count's even 1-1, so little inconsistencies continue behind home plate. Right-hander set, the 1-1 pitch is a bit outside. 2 balls and a strike. Sioux City trying to snap a small 2-game losing streak. Kansas City trying to win right after a no-hitter loss last night. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Frias played it perfectly. Throws from behind the bag over to first. Is in time. So Mendonça is the first out of the fourth inning, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Jarek Cunningham, who singled and scored as well in the second inning. Both of those runners came around to score on the same wild pitch from Casey Barnes as he was facing Ralph Henriquez with 2 outs in the second inning. The 1 run scored. Mendonça scored on the original wild pitch. The ball hit the screen behind home plate. And then the catcher Swingle tried to rush too quickly and overthrew Barnes with nobody covering behind the pitcher, and it turned into yet another run. So kind of a bizarre 2-run play. 0-1 pitch lined down the left field line. It is a fair ball off the bat of Jarek Cunningham. Wide turnaround first. It'll be a 1-out double, and Cunningham has his second hit of the game. Sioux City's fourth hit of the game, a runner in scoring position for the center fielder Matty Johnson, who's 0 for 1. Fan, Central Michigan University's cybersecurity program is now offered on base at Fort Leavenworth. The program is GI Bill approved and aligned with the DoD Directive 8570. Plus, CMU offers classes online or face-to-face. Check them out today at cmich.edu/Fort Leavenworth. Pickoff attempt to second. The throw was low into shallow center field. Tierney behind the bag throws to third, and it's not in time, as Kansas City has committed their second error in limited amount of innings tonight. So that'll be an E1. Kansas City has had 2 errors in the game. And boy, Kansas City's defense, after the initial homestand, one of the best in the league. And on this road trip, Kansas City's defense is really killing their chances, and their defensive percentage near the bottom of the league after a 5-error performance a couple of days ago. Now the first pitch to Johnson is a bit inside. Corner infielders are in. Frias at short, Tierney at second is back. It was a good pickoff attempt. Cunningham was off the bag enough. The throw was just to the right side of second base, so Frias had to range over, and the ball was too low. Now a ground ball to the right side, into right field for a hit, and Sioux City turns that error into a run. It's now 3-2. So after a great first inning for Kansas City, the wheels have kind of slowly fallen off over the last couple of frames. 3-2 lead for Sioux City, their first lead of the series. And that'll bring up the number 8 hitter, Tim Caldwell, who singled in the second inning.
Yeah, I think they probably held him up. 1 out. This is a bunt here.
Tim Caldwell, 1 for 1 in the game. Showing a bunt, misses the bunt, and the count's 0-1. Sergio Leon was charging in hard, but Caldwell did not get the bunt down. 1 on, 1 out. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Sioux City with 3 unanswered runs now, has their first lead on 5 hits. A 1-out double from Cunningham and an RBI hit from Johnson. Middle of that was an E1 on Casey Barnes. So 2 errors in the game. 7 errors in just the past 2.5 games. You can go a 2-week span before you commit that many errors, and Kansas City has done that in 2.5 games. Pickoff attempt to first. No tag applied as Johnson was easily back. Matty Johnson, just one stolen base. He's been caught 3 times this year. 0-1 pitch is a high pop-up. Shallow left field. Kuzdell back. Now will come in. He'll make the catch for the second out. That'll bring up the catcher, Ralph Enriquez, who was at the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs in the second inning before a wild pitch allowed a couple of runs to come in. There are some very dark clouds that are hovering behind the outfield. Another storm cell might be building, but maybe we might get a little bit lucky. We had a lot of rain earlier. This pitch is grounded just foul past first. Good thing is Blackwood was holding the runner at first base. I don't know if we've got some sarcasm or just some jinxing going on up here, but nonetheless, Enriquez didn't need to swing the bat in this prior at bat before Kansas City allowed a couple of runs. A run has been scored in this inning for the second time in 3 innings. Cunningham's 1-out double turns into the 3rd run of the game. So Kansas City, when we get to the 5th, will be trailing for the first time. Enriquez takes a bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kansas City got 6 innings from Cooper last night and then just 5 innings in the previous 2 nights from Shuttlesworth and Fernie. Runner goes way inside. Throw to second was a delay throw, and it's off the leg of the runner. And going to third base is Matty Johnson. So another error on the Kansas City defense. Matty Johnson will go all the way to third on the stolen base, his 2nd of the year, and the 2nd error of the game charged to Steve Swingle. So the catcher with a couple of throwing errors from behind home plate. Casey Barnes also an error. So 2 errors in this inning. And Barnes just trying to get the final out. 2-1 pitch. Base hit into right field. That's a hit. It's now 4-2 lead for Sioux City. And with Kansas City's defense, which has been very, very rocky on this road trip, keeps costing them run after run. So Ralph Enriquez on base both times, and Matty Johnson comes around to score. It's the 2nd 2-run inning for Sioux City in this game. And after Kansas City led an early 2-0, they now trail 4-2. 6 hits off of Barnes here in this game. And back to the top of the order. After the first pitch, Robinson pops it up. Foul territory. Blackwood near the fence is going to make the catch, and the inning finally comes to an end, but not before. 6 more batters come to the plate, and 2 more runs come across home plate. We head to the 5th inning. Sioux City 4, Kansas City 2 on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network. First pitch of the fifth inning, ground ball right to the third baseman. And Kansas City with one pitch, one out. Sergio Leon is out for the first time in the game. Top of the fifth inning, 4-2 lead for Sioux City. First game of the series. So Graham Johnson, who really struggled in the first two innings, has been really solid in the third, fourth, and a good start here at the fifth inning. Taking all the way, Starlin with a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Starlin 2 for 2, doubled in the first, scored in the first, then singled in the second inning. 0-1 pitch, high pop-up, shallow left field. Robinson calling for it, Sampson calling for it, and it's the left fielder who comes all the way on the infield dirt to make the catch for the second out. So it's a pop-up to the left fielder. Rarely do you see that. And very quickly, 2 up, 2 down for the shortstop Frias. That was the turning point on the offensive scheme for Kansas City. The T-Bones in the second inning had first and third, 1 out. They had a 2-0 lead at the point, and Frias grounded into an inning-ending double play. That was the last time Kansas City has had a base runner. And right after that, Sioux City came and scored 2 runs to tie it and then took the lead in the fourth inning. So that at-bat really looming large in a game in which Kansas City now trails 4-2. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball lined into center field right at Matty Johnson. And boy, oh boy, what a turnaround for Graham Johnson after a really rough first 2 innings. He's been dominant over the last 3 innings. We head to the bottom of the fifth. 4-2 Sioux City on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network. Bottom of the fifth inning, Nathan Moore back with you live at Mercy Field, Lewis and Clark Park. 4-2 lead for Sioux City with Barnes pitching in the bottom of the fifth inning. Sioux City trying to snap a 2-game losing streak. Kansas City, a tough loss yesterday. They were no hit for the first time in franchise history. They lost 1-0 on a walk-off single with 2 outs in the ninth inning. Michael Lang, 0 for 2, leads off the fifth inning. And Barnes' 2-0 pitch is a good breaking ball for a strike. 2-3-4 hitter, Lang, Perio, and Sampson in the fifth. Kansas City has committed 3 errors in just the last couple of innings. Try to check the swing. He goes all the way down to the dirt. Now they're going to say it was no swing. Michael Lang was hit by a pitch. And this is going to get Maz on fire right here. So earlier we had a situation where Massey thought he fouled the ball off of his foot. And Massey tried to argue with Nick McFarland and there was no suggestion at all. Well, the problem is that Nick McFarland was checking to see if it was a swing, which I think Maz was wondering why did he even check if it was a swing if he was hit before it anyway. But nonetheless, it's a leadoff hit by pitch, and that'll bring up the number 3 hitter, Perio Jr. to the plate. He is also 0 for 2, leading the team with 17 RBIs. Kansas City looking for a ground ball, a chance to turn a double play. First pitch is a ground ball, but another hit. 7th hit of the game. Runner going first to third. Rodriguez throw will be cut off. Frias makes an ill-advised throw to first, but not in time. So Noah Perio with another hit, his first of the game, but Sioux City really swinging the bat well. And now Casey Barnes arguing over at first base with Jake Blackwood in the first base umpire. I don't know what that argument was possibly about. But now pitching coach Bill Sobey will come out to talk with Barnes. Well, Kansas City trailing 4-2. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Sioux City is threatening again. Kansas City does not have anybody warming up. Barnes had a perfect first inning. In the second inning, Barnes allowed 3 hits and a walk. A throwing error by the catcher allowed an additional run in that inning. A great third inning. 1, 2, 3, but in the 4th inning, Barnes allowing a couple of more runs. 2 errors in that inning as Kansas City's defense has really looked rough. 3 errors in this game. They've gotten 8 errors in just the past 2.5 games. So now Kansas City will concede a run if they can turn a double play as Nate Sampson is 0 for 2. Here's the pitch. And the first pitch is a strike on the inside corner. Fastball at 85, 86 miles an hour for Casey Barnes. Barnes really just needing some outs here. No outs in the inning as we hear some thunder in the background. The 0-1 pitch is a good breaking ball, but broke too hard into the dirt, and the count's 1-1. Kansas City in every series this season has won the first game of the series. Heading into tonight, that stretch is in jeopardy with Kansas City trailing by 2 and with Sioux City really threatening to add additional runs in the 5th inning. The clouds are really moving quickly. One ball, 1 strike, another pickoff over to first, and easily back is Perio. Double play depth at the middle, straight away in the outfield. No shift out there. Here's a high pop-up that'll reach the seats. And the count is even, 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at first, Perio. Runner at third is Lang. He was hit by a pitch. Perio with a single. Another throw over to first. Perio back. We've got about 3 different levels of clouds in the horizon behind center field. We have a meteorologist down there in the concourse who just told about 5 fans that it may pass over us or it may hit us. I don't know yet. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Barnes could really help his cause if he could pick up a big strikeout. That would open up a door for a potential inning-ending double play. First, you need an out, though. Barnes looking in. The 1-2 pitch is in the dirt. The count's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now Kansas City will start moving a little bit in their bullpen. Sioux City had their bullpen warming in the 2nd inning. It's Graham Johnson. It appeared no way he was going to get through 4 innings, let alone 5 innings with the start that he had. But Kansas City hitters all of a sudden got very aggressive, swinging early in the count, and allowed him to kind of hang in Another throw to first, not in time. Two-two pitch. Lined into left field, another hit. 8th hit of the game. It's now 5-2, Sioux City with the lead. Barnes really trying to find out how to make a stop to this 5th inning. Perio goes to second. Sampson stops at first. Now the Sioux City Explorers trying to turn it on Kansas City here in the 5th inning. A 2-0 lead for Kansas City in the first, long gone. It's now 5-2 Sioux City. They have scored 5 unanswered runs. Fans, get your Kansas Lottery Mega Millions tickets at your favorite retailer today. Tonight's Mega Millions jackpot continues to reach in the high millions. Remember, it only takes one to win. Drawings are held each Tuesday and Friday night. Kansas Lottery, proud partner with the Kansas City T-Bones.
I should see how he's doing. Probably not very good.
Runners at first and second. Still nobody out. Run is already in for Tommy Mendonça. Boy, Barnes, you can tell, really not in a groove tonight. He is really focusing so much attention on the base runners. Barnes set. The 1-0 pitch has hit a mile into the air. Should be an out. Massey coming in. He's going to have all the momentum behind him. Nobody will advance. And the first out has been recorded. So Mendonça out for the second time. And up comes the second baseman, Jarek Cunningham, who is 2 for 2. So Jarek Cunningham singled and scored in the second, doubled and scored in the fourth. Kansas City could get out of this mess with one perfectly hit ground ball, or Kansas City could turn perhaps an inning-ending double play. 1 run is in. It's now 5-2. Sioux City 2 in the second, 2 in the fourth, 1 more here in the 5th. Here's a pitch. It's fouled off wide past third. And the count is even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Kansas City 2 runs on 3 hits, 3 errors. On the other side, Sioux City 5 runs on 8 hits. They are error-free. And the wind now is going from left to right. Base hit, center field. Montgomery's going to try to score the runner. Now everybody's kind of hung up, but nobody covering second base. Massey, with all his momentum, was throwing home. Montgomery was testing the arm of Massey. Then at the last second, Montgomery pulling on the brakes as Perio will halt at third. So Jarek Cunningham with his 3rd hit of the game. 9 hits against Casey Barnes. That is a season high against him. And that'll bring up center fielder Matty Johnson, who's 1 for 2. RBI single in the 4th inning. He also scored a run, and the wind, you can definitely hear, is now swirling out toward right, as the wind has really picked up. Bases loaded. And now everybody will stop playing for a moment as we've got dirt flying around the infield. Now the bases loaded pitch is in the dirt. 1 ball, no strikes. So the weather conditions out of nowhere just not really much in the favor of any pitcher, or really for anybody, as the fans are going to head for some cover. It's not raining, but the wind is just gusting in from left field. 5-2 lead for Sioux City as we now see some lightning in the background. Bases are full, just 1 out here in the 5th. And this pitch is a bit outside, 2-0. Matty Johnson, 1 for 2. RBI, a single, a run scored, and a stolen base. He's really filled up his stat chart tonight. Here's a fly ball to the left field. Nothing is going to be easy in the outfield for sure, as this one's going to make it 2 balls and a strike. The wind just continues to raise havoc from left to right field. Very, very dark, ominous-looking clouds off to the east, off to the west. Kind of orangish-looking clouds, as it looks like we may get a little bit lucky with the storm. Ground ball to second. Will be a tough turn. Out at second, no play anywhere else. Another run is in. It's now 6-2. On the 4-6 fielder's choice, Matty Johnson picks up his second RBI. Perio Jr. will score, second run of the inning. Over to third goes Sampson. Cunningham out at second base, and now runners on the corners. 2 outs for Tim Caldwell, who's 1 for 2. 3 separate 2-run innings for Sioux City in this game. Here's the first pitch, and Caldwell takes a strike. Caldwell 1 for 2, singled in the second inning, and sent a fly ball to left for the first out in the 4th inning. And a pickoff attempt over to first, and back in safely is Johnson. 6-2 Sioux City. Now the next pitch, lined into right field. It'll drop for a hit. 10th hit of the night for Sioux City. It's now 7-2 Sioux City. That'll bring in Nate Sampson. Kansas City really just kind of hanging Casey Barnes out there on the hill. Kansas City had some light stretching in the bullpen. Nobody has begun to throw at all. It's Kansas City maybe just trying to get through this 5th inning and see if this weather might play a part in some particular way. But 3 runs are in. Sioux City continues to kind of grow this lead as the first pitch is a called strike. Ralph and Henriquez has single RBI in the 4th. Walked in the 2nd.
This could be a 3-run bomb right here.
And this pitch has popped up. Foul territory near the warning track, but Leon will not have a play on it. So a couple of strikes now on the catcher. The 8th batter in this inning that Casey Barnes has faced. Down by 5, 7-2, bottom of the 5th. 3 runs already in for Sioux City. The 0-2 pitch and a pop foul out of play. Wind just continues to rip out toward right field. First and second, 2 outs and 2 strikes on the catcher. Barnes just trying to get out of the 5th. Here's the pitch. And way outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. You can see that very visibly Barnes not at all pleased with how this game is going. His body language on the mound, he is really struggling with some control, missing his spots, and Sioux City making him pay for every missed spot. And the way Sioux City hitting the ball tonight, kind of the team that we saw a lot of last year. This pitch is high, and the count's 2-2. Sioux City 70-plus wins last year, and this year coming out of the gate losing their first 6. Since then, they've gone 6-2 and have a 5-run lead here tonight. Breaking ball called third strike, and the inning is over, but not before 3 more runs comes in to score. We head to the 6th inning. Sioux City with a 7-2 lead on the Kansas City T-Bones Broadcasting Network. We head to the 6th inning, 7-2 lead for Sioux City. Nathan Moore back with you live at Mercy Field in Lewis and Clark Park. And all of a sudden, we've got rain again for the second time today. Tyler Massey takes a strike, 0 for 1 today, hit by a pitch, scored a run in the first inning. Kansas City trailing 7-2 as a lot of the fans will now retreat out of their seating section. Graham Johnson allows a fly ball to right center field. Lang back to the warning track, makes a catch right over his head. So Tyler Massey is 0 for 2. First out in the 6th inning has been recorded as the rain continues to fall here at Mercy Field. Gallus, 1 for 2. RBI single in the first inning, popped out in the third. That third inning was really, really big for Graham Johnson. Very big for Sioux City. He was really struggling with the pitch count and had a very big third inning. Very quick third inning. Very efficient inning. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And Gallus sends one down the right field line, but well foul. And the count is even, 1 ball, 1 strike. When you get through 5 innings, it can be an official game in the American Association, as it is in Major League Baseball. And then at that point, it's at the discretion of the managers as well as the officials, the umpires, whether to rule it a possible game or to continue it the following day. But not to say that's going to happen, but the rain does continue to fall here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Right-hander versus right-hander. Johnson brings it in. Big swing and a miss. And Gallus goes down on strikes. 4 strikeouts for Graham Johnson. 2 up, 2 down for Jake Blackwood, who is 0 for 1. Does have an RBI. Sacrifice fly in the first inning. It's not really coming down all that hard. A few fans still seating without any umbrellas. First pitch to Blackwood, way up in. The count's 1-0. Amazing turn of events. When you looked at Johnson earlier, nobody would have thought the way he was pitching the first 2 innings he would have made it past 4. Maybe not through 5, but here he is about to go through 6. This one's a bit outside, and the count 2-0 on Blackwood. A complete turnaround after Kansas City was such a perfect first inning, and then the wheels fell off with 2 in the second, 2 in the fourth, and 3 in the fifth. And this pitch is ball 3, 3-0. Now the 3-0 pitch to Blackwood on the way. And down too low, ball 4. So Kansas City, for the first time since the second inning, has a base runner. That'll bring up the catcher, Steve Swingle, 0 for 1. Strikeout victim. He's also walked once tonight. The wind continues to gust out toward right field, blowing across the field from left to right. First pitch on the way, and Swingle takes it in the dirt. 1-0. Now action of the bullpen for Sioux City. Nobody throwing still yet for Kansas City. There is nobody, in fact, in the entire bullpen area for the T-Bones. They have all retreated toward the dugout. In fact, John Massarelli and the coaching staff is not even visible at the top step. 1-0 pitch is down too low, and the count's 2-0. Kansas City would love to see Johnson force another base runner or 2. Kansas City to jump right back into the game, perhaps, with a couple of big swings. 2-0 pitch is down too low. Now the count's 3-0. So Johnson on the cusp of possibly walking back-to-back hitters in the 6th inning. Second baseman Brandon Tierney is on deck. He is 0 for 2. This pitch is a called strike. 3-1. So the rain continues to fall. The wind continues to gust. Now the 3-1 pitch. And down too low. Ball 4. So back-to-back walks. And Kansas City has a little bit of threatening action here in the 6th inning. And Montgomery will come out of the dugout, and perhaps Graham Johnson's night will be over, and it is. He's gone to the bullpen. So Montgomery is going to the pen. But what a turn of events for Graham Johnson after 2 really rough innings, being able to go 5 2/3. He's still responsible for the both runners, and he will depart with a new reliever. We'll tell you about him when we come back on the Kansas City T-Bones Broadcasting Network. Brandon Tierney coming out to hit for Kansas City. First and second, 2 outs. Blackwood is at second. Swingle is at first base. And Jacob Kubler, 6'5", 215-pound Nebraska native, will come out. And the first pitch is way outside. Kubler, 0-1 record, 3.65 ERA. He's pitched 12 1/3 innings in his 6 prior appearances. He has 2 runners on and 2 outs. This pitch is outside, ball 2. So Tierney, 0 for 2, trying to get his first hit of the game. Kansas City down by 5. We're in the 6th. The 2-0 pitch, and Tierney takes a strike all the way. 2-1. Take a look around the American Association scoreboard in just a couple of seconds. After the next pitch to Tierney, Kansas City trying to come back, have not scored since the first inning. 2 in the first, nothing since. The 2-1 pitch is outside, ball 3, 3-1. Three balls, 1 strike on Brandon Tierney. Here's the pitch. And a foul ball off of his shin, and the count stays full 3-2. So now the runners will be going with 2 outs in the inning. Final score, Wichita has defeated Gary 6-1. That is a final. Joplin with a 5-0 lead over Texas in a game that will help Kansas City and Sioux City regardless. Lincoln is losing to Winnipeg 6-1 in the 8th inning. That's in Winnipeg. Lincoln currently leading the Central Division. Laredo a 4-1 lead over St. Paul in the 7th inning. 3-2 pitch, struck him out looking, and the inning is over. Tierney can't believe it. He threw his bat on the other side of the batter's box. So looking for the 3rd consecutive walk. Kansas City's not going to get it, and the inning is over. So Kansas City gets a couple of walks, can't do anything with them, and we go to the bottom of the 6th. Kansas City trailing 7-2. On the T-Bones Broadcasting Network. Bottom of the sixth inning, Kansas City trailing 7-2. First game out of 3 against Kansas City and Sioux City. Casey Barnes' night is done. 5 innings, 10 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned. He walked 1, struck out 3 through 85 pitches. Labored quite a bit in the 5th and 4th innings. So Jared Messer is in for the first time here in Sioux City. Messer gave up the base hit last night in the 9th inning. That run was charged to Josh Tolles, who suffered his first loss out of the bullpen. The bullpen for Kansas City has been very strong. Messer is still yet to allow an earned run. He's allowed just 2 hits and 5 1/3. This pitch a little bit outside, 2-1 to Derek Robinson. Leadoff batter 0 for 3. Flied out and a couple of infield outs. This one's way outside, 3 balls and a strike. Still raining, but more like a mist than a rain. Earlier today, we had a lot of rain. Now the 3-1 pitch is low for ball 4. Kansas City really hadn't had issues with allowing walks until we hit Gary. For some reason, when you go to Gary, it is very, very difficult to throw strikes. Gary, a team that leads the league in on-base percentage, and for some reason, that ballpark just does not work well with Kansas City, and T-Bone splitting that 4-game series. A lot of damage caused by walks and errors, but tonight, Kansas City has walked 2 in this game. A leadoff walk in the 6th inning. Michael Lang to the plate. Another throw to first. This one was pretty close.
Heisler, he stole about 9 in about the first 2 games. So.
The wind has really died down now. It's almost normal. Pickoff attempt to first and not close.
Stolen over 50 like 5 times. He hit 69 one year.
We will see for the first time in this series the speed of Robinson. He is not running, and the first pitch is a strike, and the count's 0-1.
Fastest high school baseball player ever in the United States. Is this Robinson?
Michael Lang, 0 for 2, hit by a pitch, scored a run,
Football recruit at Florida.
and another throw to first. Robinson back in safely.
Passed up football for baseball. Cornerback, wide receiver. Right from Gainesville, right.
Messer looks in. The 0-1 pitch way above the head of Lang, and the count is 1 ball, 1 strike. You can obviously tell that Messer, a lot of energy focusing on the left fielder Derek Robinson. Very difficult combination of hitters to double up right here. 1-1 pitch. Way outside is 2 balls and a strike. Kansas City 2 in the first. Sioux City tied it in 2 in the second. Sioux City 2 more in the 4th and 3 more in the 5th. They have scored 7 unanswered runs. As we play in the bottom of the 6th, game 1 of a 3-game set. Game number 9, an 11-game road trip for the T-Bones. Another pickoff attempt to first, and Robinson easily back. Outfield straight up. Double play depth up the middle. Messer looks in. 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. And the count's 2 balls and 2 strikes. A lot of time as Michael Lang steps out of the box. Now steps back in. Right-handed hitter. Count even. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Messer looking for the first out of the inning, and once again, Lang steps out. So Messer slowing down the pace with the infinite amount of pickoff throws to first. Now Lang taking a lot of time at the plate. And the 2-2 pitch is a foul ball out of play to the right side. Robinson dancing back and forth over at first base. Kansas City, 2 runs on 3 hits, 3 errors. Another throw to first, and not close. On the other side, Explorers 7 runs with 10 hits, no errors. A difficult first game of the series. Messer set, 2-2 pitch, and swung on and missed. Down he goes. So a strikeout on Michael Lang. And that'll bring up Perio Jr., 1 for 3. Singleton scored last inning. Now with one out, we'll see if Derek Robinson is more aggressive to try to steal second base. Messer comes set, and another throw over to first base. Wind kind of going from left to right, now from center field to home. There's a high pop-up that'll get in foul territory out of play. And 0-1 on Noah Perio Jr. Runner at first, Derek Robinson, leadoff walk. There he goes. Throw from Swingle on the way to second. A good throw, and they would have probably had him if the throw would have been on the money. It had the velocity, but Swingle one-hopped it, and Frias couldn't field it. And in with a stolen base for Derek Robinson. So the double play possibility is gone. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike on Noah Perio. Messer's 2-1 pitch is swung on and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 on, 1 out. And the pitch is in the dirt. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sioux City trying to extend their lead. Kansas City trying to get out of the 6th inning. They trail 7-2. Runner at second base is Robinson. Walked to lead off the inning, just stole second base. And the 3-2 pitch. Good breaking ball to the right side. Playable for Tierney, over to first in time for the out. And out number 2. So that will move Robinson to third. And 2 outs for the shortstop, Sampson, who is 1 for 3. The bottom of the order pretty much has been doing the majority of the work for Sioux City, except for the 5th inning. All 3 runs coming from the 2, 3, 4 hitters. The production coming from the bottom third of the order. First pitch to Sampson is a bit up. And the count's 1-0. Sioux City at 6-8 coming into tonight. Kansas City at 7-8. This pitch is high, ball 2, 2-0. Messer trying to get an inning of work here tonight. We'll see how far Kansas City might push the young right-hander. Messer comes set. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And a breaking ball caught the inside corner. 2 balls and a strike. Okay, well, I can't tell with McFarland. And it counts 3-0. Now the 3-0 pitch. There's a strike, and the count's 3-1. I won't be making the same mistake twice. 3 balls, 1 strike on Nate Sampson. Here's the 3-1 pitch. And a good breaking ball swung on and missed. Full count, 3-2. Robinson at third, 2 outs. Lang a strikeout, Perio a ground out. Now the 3-2 pitch is just a bit inside, maybe inside. Ball 4, so second walk of the inning, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Tommy Mendonça, who's 1 for 3. Left-handed batter, Mendonça singled and scored in the second. Grounded out to Frias in the fourth inning and flew out to Massey in the fifth inning. Here's the first pitch, and Mendonça fouls it out of play to the left side. Pace of the game, not really moving very swift. And another throw over to first. Runner at third, Robinson. Runner at first, Sampson. Both of them have been walked in this inning. Next pitch is high, ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. And the pitch is another foul ball. Knocked down. Jarrett Cunningham comes crashing down to the on-deck circle to get out of the way. And the count's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He's like, I got like 3 first basemen.
Messer trying to end the inning. And the breaking ball does, in fact, end the inning, as the breaking ball is a called third strike. Messer strikes out a couple, walks a couple, but Sioux City leaves them both stranded in the 6th inning. We head to the 7th. Sioux City with a 7-2 lead on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network. We head to the 7th inning. Nathan Moore back with you live at Mercy Field at Lewis and Clark Park. 7-2 lead for Sioux City. It'll be Robbie Cousdale, Sergio Leon, and Starlin Rodriguez for Kansas City. The T-Bones only have 3 hits. Starlin has 2 of the 3 hits. And the first pitch to Cousdale is a called strike. 0-1 on the left fielder Robbie Cousdale. He is 0 for 2 in the game. He has struck out twice. Base is empty, just now beginning the 7th. Here's the pitch. And right there for a strike. 0-2. So Cousdale falling behind. Now the 2-strike pitch is way outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Cousdale batting .234. 11 hits, couple of home runs, just 4 RBIs. 3 of the 4 RBIs coming on one swing of the bat on this road trip. 3-run home run in St. Paul. 0 wind at all. While ago it was gusting in excess of over 20 miles an hour. Now it is no wind. 1-2 pitch, a ground ball guided to the shortstop. Sampson has it, and very quickly, 1 out in the 7th inning. Cousdell is 0 for 3. That'll bring up the third baseman, Sergio Leon. He grounded out. He's walked. He is 0 for 1. So Sergio Leon looking for his first hit of the game. Starlin will follow. First pitch is a fastball outside. Graham Johnson went 5 2/3. Kubler finished the 6th inning getting Tierney to strike out. Now working the 7th inning. This pitch is a bit high, and it's 2-0 on Sergio. Starlin Rodriguez to follow. If anybody else were to reach, then Vladimir Frias would have an opportunity. 2-0 pitch and a strike outside corner. Fastball at 85, and the count's 2-1. Righty versus righty. And the 2-1 pitch is smashed foul, but well out of play on the right side. 2-2. So young right-hander with back-to-back strikes after falling behind 2-0. After having all the wind, after having the rain, really starting to clear off again to be another nice part of the evening. 2-2 pitch is a called third strike on the outside corner. And I have a feeling before something is done in this series, somebody might be ejected by McFarland. He is really, really up and down all over the place from behind home plate. You know, you always ask for the home plate umpire to just be consistent. Nick McFarland is not even close to that. 2 outs to Rodriguez, and the first pitch is a called strike. I think I mentioned in the 2nd inning, maybe the 3rd inning, by the time we hit the 8th inning, every pitch will be a strike. We're moving in that direction. Rodriguez, bending out of the way on the prior pitch, called a strike. He wasn't all amused by it. Now the 0-1 pitch is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bullpen quiet for both teams, nobody throwing. Messer, a scoreless 6th inning, more than likely will be asked to go for the 7th. Kansas City just trying to get through this first game of the series. A very, very long time. Kansas City has yet to have a day off. And the first official day off will be on Thursday. 1-1 pitch is a big swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's the type of swings right now that's really holding Rodriguez back. Really trying to do too much. Not a power hitter, and he's trying to have that big power hitting approach. Now the 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed, and the inning is over. So a couple of strikeouts and another 1-2-3 inning against the Kansas City offense. We head to the bottom of the 7th. 7-2 Sioux City on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network. Bottom of the 7th inning, 7-2 lead for Sioux City. Nathan Moore back with you at Mercy Field at Lewis and Clark Park. Jarek Cunningham, Matty Johnson, Tim Colwell, 6, 7, 8 hitters as Jared Messer returns for his second inning of work. And the first pitch is a strike on Cunningham. Cunningham 3 for 3. Here's the 0-1 pitch and a ground ball up the middle. That'll be hit number 11 for the X's. Cunningham is 4 for 4 on the night. 3 singles and a double. Now that'll bring up the center fielder, Matty Johnson. So Messer, who going against an offense like Barnes, like Sioux City, that was 1 hit against 2 nights ago. Already 11 hits in this game. Kansas City was no hit last night. Broke that streak in the first game on the first batter and had a 2-0 lead, but that lead did not last very long. And now another throw over to first. Kansas City has had many a throws at first base tonight. Obviously, Sioux City known for running. Coming into tonight, 19 stolen bases. We've got a couple more to add tonight. Line drive into center field is going to drop in for another hit. That is now 12 hits for Sioux City. Back-to-back hits here in the 7th inning. And that'll bring up Tim Colwell, who is 2 for 3. So once again, bottom part of the order, doing a lot of work for Sioux City. Not the top 4, the bottom 4. 9 hits out of the bottom 4 of the order. Double play depth up the middle for Kansas City. Colwell, the designated hitter, looking for his 3rd hit of the game. First pitch on the way inside, and the count's 1-0. Barnes just went 5 innings. That is the 3rd starter for Kansas City in the past 4 games that has not gone beyond 5 innings. It's really taxing the bullpen. Here's the 1-0 pitch, and a foul ball straight back. Evens the count, 1 ball, 1 strike. Runner at second, Cunningham. Runner at first is Johnson. Messer is set. Here's the 1-1 pitch. And a fly ball, right center field. It's heading for the gap. Massey on the run, and it's going to go past him. And Rodriguez, the right fielder, was kind of watching it. 2 runs are in. It's a 2-run triple. Starlin Rodriguez was not running in backup mode. And when Massey took the dive at it, Rodriguez had not moved from right field. So Colwell has his 3rd hit of the game and has now 3 RBIs in the game. And Jared Messer has now allowed his first earned runs of the season. 2 so far here in the 7th inning. It is now 9-2. Sioux City with the lead. That'll bring up Henriquez, who is 1 for 2. Catcher also walked once tonight. First pitch, he fouls it away. So the bottom 4 continuing to hit Kansas City pitching here tonight. Another multi-run inning for Sioux City. Messer set. The 0-1 pitch is way too high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the 1-1 pitch is high and outside. Ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Runner at third. Nobody out. 2 runs already in. 3 consecutive hits. And this one's way inside 3-1. And Kansas City is going to have to make a decision soon on the young right-hander Messer. Left-handed hitter Henriquez is set at the plate. 3-1 pitch, ground ball to first. Blackwood thought about coming home, decides against it, It's an RBI ground out, and it's now 10-2 Sioux City, and finally the first out has been recorded. 2 RBIs from Henriquez in the 9 spot. And back to the top of the order, Derek Robinson, who is 0 for 3 with a walk. Messer set, and the pitch to Robinson is inside and low, 1-0. Robinson now at 263. Couple of RBIs, 15 hits on the early season. This pitch, a ground ball to second. Tierney has it, over to first, out number 2. Inning continuing with the right fielder Michael Lang. Hit by a pitch, scored in the 5th. 0 for 3 on the night. Michael Lang batting .259. Messer trying to get us through the 7th, move the game into the 8th. Here's the pitch. And a big swing and a miss. That was not a strike. And the count's 0-1. Take another look at the scoreboard update around the American Association in just a little bit. 0-1 pitch is outside, and the count is even 1-1. Winnipeg has defeated Lincoln 7-1. That game took an hour and 54 minutes in Winnipeg. Talk about efficiency there. St. Paul is now taking the lead on Laredo 7-4, bottom of the 8th. No score in Sioux Falls between the Redhawks and the Canaries. Here's the 2-1 pitch and a foul ball down the right field line. Rodriguez giving chase, but not enough room. Other scores, Joplin a 5-0 lead over Texas. That's in the 6th inning. And Wichita has beaten Gary tonight, 6-1, in another efficient game, just 2 hours and 20 minutes. Now the 2-2 pitch. Lined right off the back of Messer. He'll get it, throw over to first, and the inning is over. So Messer turning his back and fielding his own assist off of his own back and gets Michael Lang to end the inning. So 3 consecutive hits turn into 3 runs before the 3 consecutive outs. We head to the 8th inning. It's 10-2 Sioux City on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network. Top of the 8th inning. Nathan Moore back with you live in Sioux City, Iowa. 10-2 lead Sioux City. First pitch to Frias. Called strike. New pitcher is Trevor Bayless, 6'3", 210-pound right-hander. So Bayless will take over in the 8th inning, and the one-strike pitch on the way to Frias is fouled straight back, 0-2. 91 miles an hour off the right arm of Bayless. Kansas City, more action to their bullpen. Messer's night is more than likely over. Kansas City will have a new pitcher in their bottom half of the 8th inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and a swing and a miss. Frias strikes out for the first time. Bayless strikes out his first of the game. And that'll bring up Tyler Massey, who's 0 for 2. Hit by a pitch, scored in the first inning. So Tyler Massey looking for his first hit of the game, batting 190 on the early going, 8 RBIs, couple of home runs, both of those coming in St. Paul. First pitch on the way. Massey taking all the way. That's a strike. And the count's 0-1. Kansas City's last hit came in the second inning. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And a fly ball left center field. Pretty well struck. Johnson on the run, but runs it down in left center field, taking extra bases away from Massey. So good athletic play by Johnson. Massey hit it hard, but nothing to show for it. And 2 up, 2 down for Anthony Gallus, who is 1 for 3. So Gallus, RBI hit in the first inning, looking for his second hit of the ballgame. Kansas City's 1 and 3 hitters, or 1 and 4 hitters, only guys with hits in the game. This one is ball a little bit high. Ten to 2, Sioux City with the lead. First game of a 3-game set. Now the 1-0 pitch on the way is fouled straight back. And 1 ball, 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. And the pitch to Gallus on the way. Swung on and missed. Good off-speed pitch. And the count is 1-2 on Gallus. Kansas City's offense going from St. Paul to Gary, and now from Gary to here, continuing to kind of drop off in performance. A ton of runs in St. Paul. Gary pitched to Kansas City very effectively, and Sioux City off to a fantastic start in this one. Gallus strikes out for the second time. Bayless faces just 3 in the 8th. We head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Kansas City trailing 10-2 to Sioux City on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network. Bottom of the 8th inning, Sioux City a 10-2 lead over Kansas City. Mark Haynes will come in to pitch the bottom of the 8th, so Jared Messer went 2 innings, allowed 3 earned runs, his first earned runs here in 2016. So Mark Haynes will just try to get some work in here in the 8th. Get this game onto the 9th. Got to put this one in the rearview mirror heading into tomorrow. First pitch from Haynes, a bit outside and low, and the count's 1-0. Perio, Sampson, Mendonça, 3-4-5 hitters here in the 8th. Perio, 1 for 4, singled and scored in the 5th inning. Haynes coming set, the 1-0 pitch, and that's way outside, 2-0. Haynes, former closer for Laredo just a couple of years ago, trying to make a full recovery from Tommy John surgery. Adding some veteran depth in the back of the bullpen. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and there's a strike. Top of the letters, and the count's 2-1. 10 unanswered runs by Sioux City. Haynes coming set, the 2-1 pitch. And that's outside, ball 3. More action in the bullpen for Sioux City after Sioux City's thrown a couple of good right-handed pitchers against Kansas City in the 7th inning and the 8th inning. Now the 3-1 pitch and a high pop-up. Might stay in play in foul territory, but nope. Out of room, Leon, and the count's now full 3-2. Wind just barely blowing from center field directly toward home plate. It was gusting about an hour ago. Haynes trying to get the first out of the 8th inning. Haynes having a very difficult time picking up the signs from Swingle. You could see him kind of squinting in the eyes. Three balls, 2 strikes on Perio Jr. Right on the 3 spot. Single and a run scored. Haynes is set, the 3-2 pitch, and another foul ball. 3, 4, 5 hitters due up in the 8th inning. Haynes having some issues with his cleats picking up some excess mud there on the mound. A little bit of light rain during the game a couple of innings ago. Really was heavy in the 5th and 6th inning. But really heavy before the game started, right around 4 o'clock. Big swing and a miss, and Haynes gets the first out of the 8th inning. So 1 up, 1 down for the shortstop, Nate Sampson. He's also 1 for 4, or 1 for 3 rather, walked in the 6th inning. Singled and scored in the 5th inning, and struck out looking to begin the 2nd inning. Sampson, the shortstop, batting right-handed. Right-hander versus right-hander. Haynes trying to get a quick, efficient 8th inning. Haynes is set, and the pitch. Good breaking ball that missed inside. The count is 1-0. Haynes, first year in Kansas City. Making his 6th appearance. No earned run average, no record. Trying to pitch his 6th inning of the year. 1-0 pitch, and fastball high, and the count is 2-0. Kansas City making a defensive change in this inning. Tyler Massey is out of the game. Christian Torres in center field. Cousdale stayed in left. Rodriguez stayed in right. Haynes a long look in again. Behind of the count, 2-0. And now the 2-0 pitch is lined into left center field. Kuzdel, a great jump, makes the catch for the second out. So Sampson hit it hard, but right to the left fielder Kuzdel, who took a quick jump to his left to make the play in left center field. 2 up, 2 down for the third baseman, Mendoza. Mendoza 1 for 4. Singleton scored in the second. Haynes trying to complete the 8th inning. Kansas City trailing 10-2 in the series opener. 4 prior series, Kansas City had won the opener in all 4 series. In order for that stretch to continue, Kansas City will need a lot of help in the 9th inning. This pitch, a big curveball that stayed up, and the count's 1-0. Jarek Cunningham, who's had a 4 for 4 game, awaits on deck. Now the 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed, and the count's even. 1 ball, 1 strike. Base is empty, 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning. 2 runs on 3 hits, 3 errors for Kansas City. For Sioux City, they've got 10 runs on 13 hits and no defensive miscues. Check swing did not go, and Mendoza with the count in his favor, 2 balls and a strike. 2-1 on the third baseman, Mendoza. Haynes looking in, has the sign. Here's the 2-1 pitch. And a ground ball to the right side. Should be a very good inning for Haynes, and it is. 4-3 ground out, and the inning is over, as he has now 6 scoreless innings under his belt as the T-Bone. We head to the 9th. Kansas City trailing by 8. It's 10-2 on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network. Top of the ninth inning. Nathan Moore back with you, live at Mercy Field, Lewis and Clark Park. New pitcher for Sioux City, Michael Paris-Lucas, 6'1", 205-pound right-hander. 5.14 ERA, no record. Fourth appearance. He's thrown 7 innings, allowed 4 runs off of 8 hits. He will face Blackwood Swingle Tyranny in the ninth inning. Blackwood looking for his first hit of the game. He is 0 for 1. He has walked and hit a sacrifice fly in the game. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And a big swing and a miss. 0-2 on Blackwood. Kansas City hoping when they return to Kansas City that veteran Nate Tinbrink will be ready for his return. Boy, Kansas City could really use a healthy Nate Tinbrink like we saw in 2015. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And the breaking ball stays inside, and the count's 1-2. The question is, where will Tinbrink play? Played a very good third base last year, has the ability to play a few different positions. Now the 1-2 pitch, and a swing and a foul tip. And the count stays the same, 1-2. 5, 6, 7 hitters. Anybody were to reach, Kuzdell would follow. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m., and then Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Right here on tbonesbaseball.com. Paris-Lucas coming set. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And a good swing and a foul ball straight back. And the count stays 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, I've learned that it's pretty nice to wake up in the morning and not feel hoarse.
Blackwood, sac fly in the first. Popped out to first in the third. And he walked in the 6th inning. Kansas City's last inning in which they threatened was the 6th inning. They had a couple of free passes in the inning. Left runners at first and second. Right-hander looking in. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Big breaking ball stayed high, and it's now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Coming into the game, Sioux City allowing about 6 runs per 9 innings. 5.95 ERA, but not the case in this game. They allowed 2 in the first inning, and then since then, a lot of shutout innings. Blackwood down the left field line. It's a fair ball into the corner. Blackwood on his way to second base. It'll be a leadoff double, and he does have his first hit of the series. So Paris-Lucas giving up a leadoff double here in the 9th inning. Kansas City needs a lot more of those to get back into the game, trailing 10-2. That'll bring up the catcher, Steve Swingle. Swingle 0 for 1, couple of walks and a strikeout. Swingle struck out looking to begin the 4th inning. Swingle, switch hitting catcher, batting left-handed. The first pitch is a strike at the knees, 0-1. Just the 4th hit for Kansas City. 2 of those hits coming back in the first inning. Then the last hit prior to the double came with 1 out in the second. Rodriguez has 2 of the 4 hits. Big swing and a miss, 0-2. Tierney to follow. Kansas City just trying to end the stretch of 6 consecutive scoreless innings. 7 consecutive scoreless innings. Now the 0-2 pitch. And just a bit outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swingle with his first professional home run and RBI on the road trip that occurred in Minnesota. Kansas City hit 8 home runs in St. Paul in that 4-game series, and since then just 1 home run. One ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch on the way. It's high outside. Ball 2, 2-2. Wind continuing to blow in just a little bit. Paris Luca trying to get the final 3 outs of the game. Blackwood at second base, and the 2-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Second time tonight, Swingle has struck out. He is 0 for 2, and that's going to bring up the second baseman, Tierney, who is 0 for 3. Here's the pitch, and Tierney fouls it straight back. 0-1. One strike on Brandon Tierney. Paris Luca looking in, and the 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball that stayed high, and the count's 1 ball, 1 strike. And the 1-1 pitch, a high pop-up on the infield. Perio at first baseman coming in. He's got it, and out number 2. Kansas City down to their final out, and up comes the left fielder, Robbie Coosdale. Last check at your scoreboard tonight. Wichita with the 6-1 win over Gary. Other final scores, St. Paul came back from a 4-0 deficit, beat Laredo 7-4 in Texas. Winnipeg defeated Lincoln 7-1. Fargo in front of Sioux Falls 1-0 in the 4th inning, and the only other score, Joplin leading Texas 5-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning, as Coosdale takes a called strike. Coosdale 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts and a ground out. 10-2 Sioux City, the first game of the series. Paris Luca looks in, the 0-1 pitch is crossing up the catcher, Henriquez, and the count's 1 ball, 1 strike. Tomorrow, Kansas City will pitch Holman, his second start on the year. Pitched very effective against Gary his last time out, and then Kansas City will end the series and end the road trip with Johnny Shuttlesworth, his 3rd start on the road, on the same very road trip for Kansas City. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and Coosdale takes high, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. Leadoff double for Blackwood. He's still at second base. 2 outs, and the 2-1 pitch is a bit low. 3 balls and a strike on Robbie Coosdale. Sergio Leon would follow. Now the 3-1 pitch, and high, ball 4. So the 9th inning continues. Kansas City with runners at first and second. 2 outs for the 3rd baseman, Leon. On deck, Starlin Rodriguez. He's had a couple of hits. Sergio looking for his first hit. And the first pitch way inside almost hit him, and the count is 1-0. And Henriquez is going to take a second meeting with the relief pitcher, Paris Luca. That's a different spelling. 1-0 count for Sergio at the plate. Young 3rd baseman trying to get his first hit tonight. This pitch is a bit high, 2-0. If Kansas City can continue the inning, Rodriguez would have a chance. Barnes went 5 innings. He was responsible for 7 runs. Messer pitched 2 innings, responsible for 3. This pitch is high ball 3, 3-0.
It's going to be 10-9 like that. Cardinal game that was what, 8-2?
3-0 the count on Sergio Leon. He's got 1 walk in the game.
That's why our ERA.
Possibly looking for another free pass, and that one is right down the middle. And the count's 3-1. For Sioux City, when you have a 8-run lead, the biggest thing you want your relief pitcher to do is just throw strikes. If the team hits it, they hit it, but you don't want to give up free base runners. Kansas City down by 8 will take any base runner possible. Good swing and fouled straight back. Full count, 3-2. And now with 2 outs, the runners will be going, and because with 2 strikes and 2 outs, watch out for the ever-growing strike zone. We have seen it already twice in the game. Coosdale at first, Blackwood at second. They are running. 3-2 pitch, swung on and miss, and the game is over. So Kansas City gets a couple of base runners on in the 9th, but can't pull any closer. As the final score, 10-2 in favor of Sioux City. Casey Barnes takes the loss. For Barnes on the year, he falls to 1-2. Who would have thought it? Graham Johnson gets the win. He's 2-0. T-Bones fall to 7-9. Sioux City improves to 7-8. As Kansas City has dropped their 2nd consecutive game, and for the first time all season, drops the opener for the first time in a series in 2016. Final score, 10-2 in favor of Sioux City. Kansas City continues this 11-game road trip with the 10th game of the road trip tomorrow night at 7 o'clock here at Mercy Field at Lewis and Clark Park. Nathan Moore saying so long. Talk to you tomorrow night as the T-Bones look to get back on track at 7 p.m. Have a good evening. We'll talk to you then. You've been listening to the Kansas City T-Bones on the T-Bones Broadcasting Network.